Alright, so I am currently about halfway through chapter 50 of 59 chapters in a prologue, or in an epilogue for Warbreaker. I'm still hoping to finish it tonight. I don't think I will. Today's the 30th, so probably won't finish it this month, but I really am trying to. That's as much as I've got left, which is less than 100 pages. Just under 100 pages. It's possible that I will finish it tonight, but it's unlikely. I'm starting to really like it a lot more now. Not that I was disliking it before, as I've said, but it's a lot better now. I don't know. It's finally become, I think, what he intended it to be from the beginning, and it feels like Sanderson now, like his more prominent works, Mistborn and Stormlight. So I'm really loving it now. So in my last update, I'm pretty sure that I said I was still super bored with Vivenna's story. The very next chapter was a Vivenna chapter, and it completely changed my whole perspective of her storyline. So now I'm loving her storyline. It's super interesting to follow. Ciri is still a super interesting character to follow, and Lightsong's interesting. I'm not going to get into it because he's just an interesting character. I'm excited to see where the rest of these 100 pages take him, because he's grown a lot and he's changed a lot. So I'm very excited to finish this book. I'm reading The Ruins of Gorlan next, which is the first book in the Ranger's Apprentice series. So as soon as I finish Warbreaker, I'm going to read The Ruins of Gorlan. I'm going to finish Warbreaker, going to read Ruins of Gorlan. By then it'll be end of the first week of October, and I will be on to my next book. Alright, we will see you guys in a couple of days.
Alright, so here's my update for you all. I'm still reading through The Mockingjay. I'm about 5.5 chapters through, so barely a quarter, if that. And I have a couple thoughts, mostly that Katniss seems very selfish in this book, which is interesting because she does everything she does is for her family, essentially. It's not for herself, for her family and those that she loves. And it's really odd to see her being so selfish in this sense. And she's been through a lot, granted, and that's not something to be ignored, but it is something that's it's surprising to see her reacting this way because she's been through so much. You'd almost think she'd have more sympathy, and those that she does have sympathy for are the ones you'd least expect her to have sympathy for. Anyhow, it's frustrating because you see her blatantly disregarding rules and for no reason at all. Yes, the rules are extreme and the structure is very structured, but that can be beneficial to one's mental state sometimes. But I definitely think that's, I don't know, it's frustrating to read. It's frustrating to see Katniss being so selfish. And she's been through so much in the first 2 books, and she's gonna go through more in this book, that we'll see how I feel a little bit further in, if I still feel like it's being selfish, or if it's how do you put it, justified, I guess. It's also interesting watching her and Gale's interactions with each other. There's the big whole argument at this book, Gale or Peeta, and I know what I thought last time I finished the book, but I'm interested to see if that's changed this time through or not. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted.
Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I ended up really enjoying it. The second half of it really felt like it came into its own, and it started doing its own thing. Twist that I said that I thought I might have figured out, I was wrong, which I should have known, but the twists that did end up happening at the end, those were really good. It was a lot more enjoyable the more I got into it. In the ending, I ended up really liking the ending, actually. So yeah, that's Warbreaker, and now I am on chapter 15 of Ranger's Apprentice Book 1, The Ruins of Gorlan by John Flanagan. So I am currently on chapter 15 of this book, and so far I'm not loving it, but I'm not hating it either. I'm going to continue on with the series because I'm going to at least continue giving it a shot. It's not like they're big books or anything, so yeah. What I'm noticing so far about this book is that Flanagan does info dumps, which I'm not opposed to. I've said it multiple times, I don't have any issue with info dumps. The info dumps are done in a way where it feels natural. So there'll be a character who sees something and is thinking about something, and then they'll be like, and this is how all this came to pass, and blah 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 blah, and then continue on. And so the info dumps will be tied to what is going on at the moment. So it's not like it's just a bunch of useless info. It's info that relates to something that's going on in the story, but is done in an info dumpy way. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to say about the book. It's currently really basically following two characters, Will, the main character, and then Horace, who is, I guess, the second main character. Personally, I'm not loving Horace's storyline, or the chapters focused on him, but that's alright. Alright, that's it for now.
I finished Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, and I had just finished reading it, so my thoughts are gathered really well. I really enjoyed the first two-thirds of the book. I think that they're not shown to their full potential in the films, which is what I remember a lot as the films. And the last third of the book makes me mad and sad, and I think that's good. I like a book when it draws emotion out of me, and rereading this series, I honestly think Mockingjay was the best book of the series. The reason I say that is because it felt the most complex. And I want to talk about Suzanne Collins' writing style because it's a constantly amazes me. She gets away with, or pulls off, certain tactics or techniques rather that I didn't know could be done in writing, and she does them really well. And her writing style is a huge part of the appeal to her books, I think, because it's really great and it's very appealing and it's engaging and it's enjoyable. I'm not going to go too much into my thoughts on Mockingjay because I know we're going to have a book review about that soon and you can hear it then. But yeah, well, I finished it. I'm amazed. I'm a little bit shocked, even though I knew the ending. It still pulls me back a little bit, and I'm definitely in that book withdrawal zone where you're not ready to be done with the characters yet. That's that. I think the next book I'll be reading is, I think I'm gonna start Little Women, and I may read another book alongside that just because that is a big tome to tackle. And yeah, I might do something simpler alongside that. And I'll check back in soon.
Alright, so I am now on chapter 20 of Ruins of Gorlan. I'm starting to enjoy it quite a bit more. So he did the thing where he did a couple of time jumps, like a couple of months, not a huge time jump, but a couple weeks, couple months time jump, and that helped keep the story flowing. And because of that, it's gotten a lot more interesting. It still kind of feels like there's not a whole lot that's happening in this book. This book feels like it's setting up for the rest of the series, which I can respect, but it just doesn't feel like there's a whole lot happening. I'm hoping the other books in the series are better, but I don't know if they will be. So those are my thoughts on Ruins of Gorlan. I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the week. I would have liked to have been done with it by now. I just haven't had enough. I just haven't gotten a chance to sit down and read it like I would have liked. I suspect a good 2 hours, 3 hours maybe, and I'll probably be done with this book. So, alright, that's about it. I will talk to you guys later.
Alright, I want to do my update for you all. I finished Mockingjay as I talked about in my last entry, and I started reading Little Women a little bit. I'm only 2 chapters in, and it's really fun to read, and it is a slower book. Because of that, and because of its thickness and the length of it, I'm going to be reading it simultaneously because I want to feel like I'm making progress. So I'm reading it in between my 2 shorter books that I'm hoping to read this month. One is The Last Olympian, which I've also started. I'm about a chapter in, and I'm not drawn into the book yet, so I don't really have anything to say about it because of that. And yeah, I'll kind of sporadically read Little Women throughout that. Hopefully I can get through it at a relatively good pace, but still feel like I'm accomplishing something by getting through my easier, shorter books. So yeah, that's my update. It's pretty concise.
Alright, so final update for today, and I finished Ruins of Gorlin. The thing that I saw about this book by the end is that it did what I was hoping it would do, in that Will, the main character, did not master any of the abilities that he was learning or anything like that. He got better at them, he improved at them. The big battle at the end of the book wasn't with the big bad, it was just with some minions type things. I did predict pretty much everything that happened at the end, which doesn't mean it's bad, that just means they laid the groundwork correctly, or else I know these type of stories too well. But I did predict everything at, maybe not everything, but I predicted most of what would happen at the end of this book, and yeah. The next book I'm reading is Dawn of Wonder by Jonathan Renshaw. This book is a beast. It's like Stormlight size, not quite. It's only 700 pages. Not 1,300, but it's a pretty big book. I haven't started it yet, but I will sometime. Alright
Guys, I want to do a little update for you all. I'm reading The Last Olympian. I'm this far the way through, so about a third, I guess you could say, almost a half. And yeah, I'm hoping to have it done really soon, within the next couple of days, but I wanted to go ahead and finish out this vlog. So yeah, that's my plan. I have not read any more of Little Women right now, and I'm just plugging away at this one, and after I finish this, I'll probably read a little bit of Little Women before I jump into the second book in the Ranges of Prentice series, which is The Bridge of Fire, The Bridge on Fire, the second book in the Ranges of Prentice series. But yeah.